Since we're doing a show here about beer and brewing, it's probably a good idea to get some background on the process first. Best place to do that is right here, Austin Home Brew Supply Company. Now, established in 1991, Austin Home Brew Supply quickly became the area's premier location for anything involving brewing, winemaking, or cheese making. I got a friend inside who's going to walk us through the basics of making beer. Come on, let's go talk to him. Oh, hey John, how you doing?
Hey, what's going on, Jim?
All right, cool. Well, this is my friend John Brack, JB. He is the resident brewmaster here at Austin Home Brew, and he's going to take us through the basic steps of beer making. All right, ready? Let's do it. Cool.
All right, so walk me through what do we have here? What all comes with this? This is the basic stuff that you're going to need equipment-wise to make beer. We generally deal with 5-gallon batches.
Okay.
A lot of people come in and say, hey, I want to do just like a 1 or 2-gallon batch. Like, that's cool. You'll have exactly the same amount of labor. So you want to make 1 gallon or 5.
Right.
Our most popular way of brewing is called extract brewing. First, we'll crush some specialty grains, which will add particular flavor profiles to the beer, and you'll steep it in this grain bags. And then you use a 20-quart stock pot, and you steep these in that stock pot to begin with, and extract some of the flavors there. Then you're going to take that grain bag out and drain it, kind of put it on the side, discard the grains, crank your heat back up to high, get that water boiling. As soon as it starts to boil, you're going to add your malt extract syrup. I have some poured here. This is an example of what's in the big barrels here next to us.
It's like candy apple.
Caramel. It looks very much almost like caramel. So it's got tons of sugar in there, and which is what the yeast are looking for.
So it's not very Atkins friendly.
It's not at all. No, which is why we like it. So,
right on.
Next thing we need to start adding is hops. Once we get the extract boiling, then as soon as you see it start to roll and boil, you're going to add your hops and different additions. Okay, there's tons of different kinds of hops in the world. We carry, the last count, 28 different varieties of hops. So then after the complete boil is done, which generally is about a 1-hour boil, then as soon as the flame gets turned off is where you want to start thinking about being sanitary.
Okay.
Because the best brewers in the world are very clean brewers. That's where you get your consistency. A lot of home brewers, if they encounter difficulties with the flavors of their beer, it generally can be traced back to sanitization or lack of. A couple of different ways you can sanitize. Most people use one-step sanitizer. Basically, you can mix it right into this jug, just put the lid on it, splash it around really good to make sure all interior surfaces have been hit with it, and then drain it out, and then you're ready to go. You're sanitized. So your beer's at the end of the boil. You need to bring the temperature down to about 80 degrees. A couple of different ways you can do that. One is an immersion chiller. It looks kind of like a copper coil. A lot of people look at it and they're like, oh, you're making moonshine. No, we're making beer. So you put that down into it, run some cool water through there. It's basically a radiator. It comes in cool, gets spit out nice and hot, pulls the heat out of it. The other way is to just grab the brew kettle, put it into a sink full of ice water, which is what most people do. Then go ahead and pour it into your sanitized fermenter. So I just dump it straight in. And then you're going to want to top up with purified water. I just keep bottled water around and top it up to a little over 5 gallons. Now you're ready to get the yeast into it. Because if you put the yeast into the beer while it's still hot, it'll kill all the yeast. It cooks. So it's in the primary fermenter here. And all right, so now I got to choose my yeast, okay? 2 different basic kinds of yeast are dry yeast or liquid yeast, okay? These just happen to be a couple of different varieties of those.
And right now, which is more popular?
Lots more liquid yeast sold. There's 2 big companies that produce liquid yeast, and they have come a long way in the last few years, really developing more and more different strains. They've isolated different strains from different breweries around the world. So choose your yeast. Shake it up really, really good and go ahead and pitch it right in there and stir it in. You want a lot of dissolved oxygen at that point. So it really will help yeast to do their job. And put the lid on it, snap it down really good. Okay?
And that's when the magic happens, right?
You got it.
Yep.
And you got to make sure that it's snapped down good, because if you don't, there's so much pressure being produced, it'll sneak right out of the side. So then, as your fermentation is pretty much going on, you're going to have a lot of active fermentation for the first few days. Lots of bubbling, lots of krausen, which is the foam that builds up on the top. So about a week there. Then what I'll do is I'll take it and I'll put it up on the countertop like it's sitting here, just to allow it time to resettle.
Resettle, right.
Yep. Then you're going to transfer the beer from there to there. This little guy here makes it really easy. It's basically a pump siphon. So you just hook your hose up to it right here. Put this guy down in there. Pump it a few times. It'll run the beer down into there. Okay? Cool. And basically once it's in there, then you're gonna put this guy on it. Another little stopper there.
You just cork it up.
Yeah, this is mostly for the clearing up stage, the clarification part. So let it sit there for about a week to clear up. Then take it, put it on the counter, and then you're gonna bottle. You take this, use this guy here, and this is how you're gonna bottle your beer. What I'll do is I found like a perfect little table that's sitting next to my sink, so I'll put this guy up and fill in my sink, so I don't have to be doing stuff off the floor.
Cool.
And of course these are easy because you just flip top the thing on them.
And pop it.
Yeah, those are cool, but most people just cap and with the little capper. It's pretty straightforward. This thing just goes straight down.
Pop it, and you're good. You're done. Cool. All right. So, and that is the basic process on how it's done. Fantastic.
And if you do that and you keep everything clean, you just made
nice,
about
tasty beer.
around 50 12-ounce bottles of beer in about 3 weeks. After you put it in the bottles, give it about 3 weeks at room temperature to allow that yeast to eat that little bit of priming sugar to carbonate it.
All right.
After about 3 weeks, put one in the fridge overnight, chill it, and then the next day try it. And if you're happy with the results, go ahead and start serving them. Pretty much it. That's how you make beer.
Great. Yeah, I appreciate the time. Thank you for showing us everything.
No
And
problem, Jim.
now with all this advice, we can make our own damn beer.
That's right. Damn it.
That's right. Don't put up with inferior products. Make your own.
And we'll always help you out.
Right on. Well, thanks
All right.
again. Thanks
You're
again.
very
I
welcome.
appreciate it.
Not a problem, man.
Sweet.